welcome everybody. It's Terry. Welcome back to my channel, TD Morelanders Orchids. And this is another second video where I'm going over my Bible. And because I refer to it so much, I'm going to do it from A to Z and look at my plants that I have in this book. And today we are on B. And B starts out with these two species, which I do not have. Then I have, this says Barkeria, and it talks about them from Mexico, Guatemala. They grow in moderate altitudes, bright light, epiphytic or lithophytic, deciduous, dry conditions during the winter, bright light, and full sun is recommended. Anyway, I have Barkeria skinneri right here. Grows on oak trees. Grows best on a slab. I did have Lindleyana, and they bloomed really well for me. Today I'm having coffee and I'm having toast with Nutella. Lavazza. Okay, so my Barkeria is over here actually. I have others that are hybrids. There's my Barkeria right there. I'm getting it on the mount. You can see that it is putting up roots. That is the newest growth. It bloomed from this growth here. And so that's what it comes on. They bloom in the fall, winter. Very long lasting, intense flowers. Anyway, let's move on. Don't have any of those. I do have a Bolea. Bolea is named for Pescatoria, which I don't have any Boleas. I have Pescatorias. Okay, and I'm at Bresaola now, and of course I have a lot of Bresaolas, as you know. You pretty much know the cultivation of these, as I've did just an update. Akira Collab. They like water heavily during the growth season, less after flowering. Stems should not be allowed to shrivel. Room to expand, large clumps, intermediate conditions, high humidity, good air movement, bright light. So they like, you know, the wet dry cycle. And there's Cucullata, there's Flagellaris, Marciana, Nodosa, and Perenniae. I do not have Seculifolia, and I'll just go and point them out to you if you don't remember. If you haven't been on my video before, that's my Flagellaris right there. That has been putting up lots of new growths that have matured. I'm expecting this to really spike anytime soon. Next to that is, this is a Nodosa here. I have a few Nodosas. This is a Nodosa up here. Here's another Nodosa. And this is my Marciana over here. Species. And what was the other? I believe that was probably it. But you get the picture. They are very similar, night fragrant, white flowers with a nice lip. Some have the nice yellow throat. Perenniae is my favorite, and Perenniae is right here. And Perenniae is one of the ones, I think it's the only one that can bloom, repeat bloom from previously bloomed spikes. So, but mine, for me, they bloom for me generally towards the end of fall or towards the spring. Okay, that's that. Brassia, I do not have any Brassias. I did have a Brassia species a long time ago, did not do well. Same with Botonias, so I'm just going to skip those. Now, Bulbophyllums. Of course, I have Bulbophyllums. The majority of them are inside, but I do have a few outside. And let me just go over the culture. Of course, it is the largest genera in the orchid family. Distribution into those areas. and they generally like to be a mixture that's free draining, but they also want to retain moisture. They do not want to stay dry for too long, and they should be kept moist year-round. They do like some shade and good light, and they do like warm temperatures, of course high humidity, but the majority of them do not like their leaves to get wet, and they do need good air circulation. They do not want to stay wet, but they want to stay moist, if that makes sense. Ambrosia, I did have an ambrosia. It was tiny, it bloomed once, and then I mounted it and then it died. It was very nice and very, very sweetly fragrant. That's a rambler climber. Haven't had any one of. I did have a biflorum that I got mounted. That was one of my first bulbophyllums. No, I'm sorry, that was a masdevallia. Now carunculatum, I have a carunculatum that is inside, and it is doing well, putting up with growth. Did not have any of these. I am fascinated with Fletcheriana, but just too damn big. Now I do have the Dutch shoe orchid, which is the Bulbophyllum frustii. Grows in rainforests. They like shade, and it's a spring flower. It's miniature. None of those. Okay, here's my longiflorum that I've gone up to the rain. It says rainforests from all those areas: Madagascar, Papua New Guinea, the Philippines. Flowers from late summer to autumn, warm conditions. And just to refresh you on my long florum, it's right here. Just completed its blooms, flower blooms and umbels, and it just got watered today. I just dunked it in the bucket, and it's all over the mount. Big plant. And I think here's a division of it that fell off, and we'll see if that takes root. But you see, it's just potted up in coconut husk so that it will retain moisture. And here is my cucullata from the bees in Bresaola. That's one, and then I have this one that is a cucullata that just bloomed. Okay. So I have a Medusa, and that's probably one of my most difficult ones that I've ever tried to grow. And bulbophyllums take a while to get used to. They have for me, because it's a moisture issue. Now, my Medusa's right here. It has been recently repotted, and it is in bark, and you can see it's got some sphagnum. I ran out of cocoa husk, but the bulbs are shriveling up. I don't like it. And one of the bulbs looked like it was getting some sunburn, so I moved it into some shade, so I'm keeping an eye on that. Some of my other species that I have over here are, this is my falcatum. That's a species. That's a hybrid. That's a hybrid. And I know I have another species that is, and it escapes me, but that's okay. I think it's another Lasiacylum that is, that's not, here it is. No, it's a falcatum, that's what I meant, falcatum, and it's hanging up here, a little bit of a wander. As you can see, this is a falcatum as well. Okay, so that's bulbophyllum. That page. Again, my Medusa, I need to really pay attention to that. Now there's my Nymphopolitanum to the Philippines. Flowering is during the winter. I think this is a two-time bloomer because it is putting up spikes right now, not spikes, but it's putting up new growths right now, and it just finished blooming, and it usually blooms from the new growth. So we will see. I did not have Odoratissima, but bulbophyllums are really fascinating to me. I did not like them at all initially because of the reputation and of them being so small, but over time you tend to get closer into the flower when you develop an orchid habit. The big fufu ones that you once coveted, or the phalaenopsis that you don't have to really get close up to see, become kind of boring, and you want to get closer in, and you see these smaller things, and it really takes you there. But Bulbophyllum rauchilianum is one that I've always wanted to grow and have had difficulty, just because Bill Toms really embraced this rauchilianum and made tons of crosses and tons of just crosses of self-crosses of rauchilianum. I know there's 2 or 3 or 4 maybe, but I've never got a good plant that I could grow well. They always sort of die when I have to repot them. So that's just where that is. I would really love to have that one, but I give it up. And these other ones I do not have. And that is the letter B, folks. Thanks for joining me today and having breakfast with me in the letter B in Botanica's Orchids, which is my Bible. And as always, enjoy your orchids. Bye.